Hello and welcome to a quick boss guide on how to beat the Fierce Tiger boss as easy as possible. So now right off the bat, the most important aspect is that you're either going to want to summon your NPCs immediately like I am doing in this first part, or you're going to want to summon them in the second half of the fight. Now if you're like me and kind of have his first half choreographed in a pretty easy manner, I would suggest doing it for the second part of this boss fight as well. The second part's a lot more aggressive. The second thing we're going to do as far as our tempering picks is we're going to do fire and corruption. Fire simply because animals and kind of these bigger enemies usually don't like fire, and corruption for the simple fact that I found that if you can actually stack it and get it out, it's a good way to do a couple free 1,000 damage and really does help kind of whittle him down in these early stages. And if you have more than one use to your temperance, this can be extremely helpful in the second half of the fight as well. The next tip I want to talk about for his first phase is his choreograph attacks. And what I mean by that in simplest terms is that his attacks are mostly long windups and you're rarely going to get caught with your pants down, so to say. The only thing that really can shock you is when he does a backflip and throws like 5 little electric balls at you. That can one-shot you, but even then he kind of does a little charge up for that as well. The most important aspect of most of his fights with most big bosses in general is that he is choreographed. He's not like a human enemy. Next thing we want to talk about in this short little guide is that you never want to attack him from the front. And really, as with most of these bigger enemies, you're not going to want to fight him from the front. And that attack right there, the little flip, is what I'm talking about. That can one-shot you if you're in close range because all 5 balls will hit you. But back to the point, we are going to want to be attacking his ankles and his back legs, simply because he is less of a threat from the back. When we get to his second phase, this is when he gets very happy and kind of trigger motivated with his electric attacks. And honestly, we are going to want to run an armor with high paralysis resist if it will help you out, or if you're running into this problem where you really can't get rid of the paralysis effect. There's quite a few armor sets that have quite high paralysis resist, and honestly, it can be a nice way to make the fight a little easier. As I said in the first part of this boss fight, the NPCs can be very good cannon fodder here, so you can actually summon both the NPCs available, who I don't want to spoil, but I can look at their names real quick. You can summon Niam and Huang to give you just the additional kind of help in the fact that they can be cannon fodder and they can give you a little bit of extra damage if you need it. But most importantly, they are really going to be the ones that are just pulling aggro away from you. And in a fight like this where he's so aggressive, that is very important. Which goes to the next part of this tips and tricks guide, more specifically with this boss, is he's very aggressive in the second phase. He has a ton of attacks that can do more than half your HP, and you should always try to stay healthy. Just kind of like in reiteration of the first phase, he is very quick and most of his attacks do have a long windup, but the emphasis in the second half is that it does more electricity as opposed to just standard slashing attacks. The next thing we're going to do is we're still going to want to maintain, of course, attacking the backside of him because it'll break his posture easier and really make the fight a lot easier to handle from the fact that he really can't hit us if we're attacking from the side. If we're always keeping that side angle with his back legs and his tail, we really shouldn't ever have a problem with killing him. And honestly, that's about all you should have to do for this boss. He is quite a bit of a skill check, and figuring out his move set and kind of figuring out what he does can be a bit tricky. But I think most people should be able to figure him out pretty easily and beat him with the help of the NPCs. Also, a very serious note, stay out of the little electronic or electricity fields in the water, and that attack as well. They will wreck you if you are not paying attention. And the paralysis, I should say, effect will make it so you take more damage, and that is going to make the fight 10 times harder. As always, I hope you enjoyed this quick guide, and that is all I have for today. You have all my gameplay, you have my tips, and I wish y'all the best of luck.